Good morning, everyone, and today is a Wednesday. What is it? January 22nd, 2020. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun, right? And you're programming and anything else that you tend to do. But just wanted to say good morning. Welcome to WalkTheWeb, and I'm Dr. Ernadishno. I'll be taking you through this process. Here we go. What we're going to do today is I'm going to be working on the install process like you just downloaded it from GitHub, and going to go through the process, make sure it's running real smooth. By the time I'm done today, I'll re-upload it to GitHub to make sure that we got the latest, greatest, and all perfected code up there. But I want to make sure that the actual install process runs smooth. So I'll be focusing on the steps that you take, the way that it transitions from one thing to the next, everything from loading avatars to picking your avatar to anything we can do to install the process. So chances are I'm going to be installing it numerous times today, deleting the tables and doing it again just so that we can kind of work our way through it, clean it up, and make it run real well. So that's the goal for the day, and I'm going to jump right in. So here we go to the coding page. This particular thing, of course, I've got the code page here. I've brought in a copy of the code. This is from my dev site, so it's got the latest, greatest that I know of. I believe that it has the same things as GitHub, but since we're going to be modifying it today anyway, at the end of the day, I'll check and make sure, and we re-upload it to GitHub and make sure I got the latest, greatest out there. The goal today, when you download from the releases, it's 3.2.0. The goal today is to finally get out the version of 3.2.1, which has a lot of corrections, a lot of updates, a lot of changes, just trying to improve the whole process. So this will be the final test, get this piece in place, and then we'll see what we can do. If you have messages for me, please, welcome to chat. Jump right in. Do what you need to do. Ask your questions along the way. I'll be trying to stay focused and do this, but if you have questions that don't pertain to the subject, but you'd like to ask them, please jump on Discord. You can type them in there. Got a number of people that'll help you out with the answers, including myself. So, just want to open the door and let you in. So, join me on Discord, follow me on WalkTheWeb here on Twitch, but either way, gonna jump right in and start doing some code and see what we can do today. So for starters, the first thing, I'm looking at a blank slate. First thing is, anytime I search for something, I gotta make sure I'm in the right path, so I'm just gonna do a little change here because I know this path needs to be modified to be the right site. So I'm gonna put that on org. Then from now on, anytime I search for something, it'll be the right version of itself. And notice how when I'm on this site, this one is taking a little longer to search across than my other site. Reason is this one does have the content folder in place, just like you get when you download it from GitHub. On the one that I normally develop on here daily, what I did was I took the content and remapped it to a different path on my server, just so that when I search across all these files in this coding directory, it doesn't go across all the images and textures and everything, avatar and animations and everything else that I have in the content folder. So, just to let you know, that part, I have a sample config file, and this just basically gives you the breakdown. So this right here is a key concern. I just changed the way this is so that the path should come up this way, just to let you know, which works on Windows and Linux, so thank you very much. I finally fixed that. But yeah, so it should come up this way in our new file when it creates it, and we should be good. So that's one thing I'm going to be checking here as we go. The other part is, well, just the entire process. But I want to let you know that that is a key concern. After it does the install from GitHub and you actually get it running, then you can actually move these files and change the reference path so that it finds those files for the content. So just a good point to note that this can be moved, and like I did on the other site, just keeps it from being within the same directory. Sometimes I do that for permissions, sometimes I do that for other reasons. But like in my case, I just don't want to search across it every time I do a global search on my site. So that's what I do. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to jump over here, change this path to... Also, the other thing was my test site has HTTPS. I want to test it without, so this particular site, I'm not using it at the moment, so that we can get a full, true test of what's going on there. We're not logged on, so it doesn't remember any passwords. Here we are. This is what you get when you start. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to... I've got it over here where I can copy and paste it off screen. It's a local address, so I'm not worried about you seeing that. Here's the database. And since the last time, I think I changed the database password, so if it is the case, I may have to reset it on the server. We'll find out real quick if it's active or not. And put that there. And prefix, I'm going to leave it with WalkTheWeb, WTW, at the beginning of each table. Click Save, and no, it did not do it. I'm not worried about saving passwords. Database connection error. So, like I said, I had a feeling that I changed that. So first word of business is going to be to get to my database here. I'm going to take it off screen for a second. I just don't want to flash any passwords out to you. You understand that, don't you? Now, it's taking a second to load. There it goes. The user that I just did was... Okay, I'm going to create a new user so that I can do this in a particular way. So, let me... fixing the password. Give it access to the schema that we need, and apply, and we're good to go on that. And now I'm going to run the process again. Let me close that file out of there. Okay, bring it up here. Sorry for the cloak and dagger, but it does involve passwords. So, and basically, I don't need that up anymore. Didn't show anything. Okay, so the next part is I'm taking this file, removing it, and we're starting from scratch again because I do not want to. I don't want to skip that step. So let's start with this. Copy that to there. save, and there we go. Now it took it the password and everything. Okay. So what I did was I created a new user. The other one, I had exposed the password online and changed it immediately afterwards. So yeah, now we're past that point, and so far looks good. So don't accidentally open that. We'll be doing this a number of times. I'm just jumping back and forth. Okay, so back in it here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is create a username, and like I said, this is going to like die many times, so I'm not too worried. And admin email. I don't care if you know my email. Not a big deal. And okay. Website works for me. Click save, and I'm going to see what happens next. It takes us to this page. I don't need to worry about that password at the moment. I've just been picking this one. I'm going to create new scenes here, so this part doesn't really matter too much right now, but I do want to just kind of set it up, be able to pick that scene. So we have something to work with to start with that I know works. The other thing is I'm going to open up the little panel over here, so if we do get an error or anything, we can actually see what it does. And the real confusion or part that I wasn't too clear on is that when it finishes this part, then you get a choice of logging on or creating an anonymous user. I think that part, it's there, but I need to kind of refine it or do some or explain it better or something maybe. I don't know. Let me show you what it does, and we'll see what we can do from there. Right now, it creates your first scene. Then here's the deal. Okay, it knows you're logged in. So the first time you do the install, it doesn't take you past the anonymous, which is perfectly fine, because your user should always be here. So now what it's doing is it's loading up all the different avatars that you can choose. I know, I did the smoke thing. I could change that. That's not such a big deal. But hey, you never know. The smoke as you approach kind of is, yeah, something. It's something to look at while you wait. Now notice right now, my avatar, the cursor isn't acting like everything is selectable. That is a problem to me. So the first thing I want to check is if I reload this page right now, does it reload and ask again? Yes, it does. Okay. Now that I know that, the first thing I want to do is I want the cursor to actually show that I'm over each one of these avatars, and when I click it, I want to make sure that it's going to click it. So that was one of the confusion things that happened when we tried doing installs. So coming in here, we have scripts, we have Prime, and there's a couple of them I'm going to use. One of them is input, and it may be connecting to the common. Well, there's three main ones here. We're using the core, we're using the common, and the input is where we're actually doing some of these pieces. And then finally, the avatars themselves, we have two things. Basic avatar is where it's creating the avatar right here. And if I'm not mistaken, these pieces right here are saying is pickable for every mesh. So we should be pickable, and that shouldn't be a problem for the avatars. Okay, that's selectable, but then at the same time, each one of these meshes needs to be register mouse over. So we're also registering the mouse over. Those two steps alone should allow us to run the pieces. Let me find out, because that should take us into this input file. Hello, hey Bookus, how you doing this morning? I'm working on the install process, trying to clean it up and make sure that everything's working good. So, you know, just a little bit of stuff there. How's my background music? Is it too loud, or that's loud if I put it in my ear? Is the background music too loud, or is it okay? Cool. Yeah, I need a night of games myself. Kind of remind me why I'm doing all this stuff, right? Keep the roots there, right? It's okay? Okay, good deal. If it gets too loud or anything, just let me know. I can always tone it down a touch. But yeah, good deal. Right now, I'm trying to check. One of the things that I ran into on here was that when I move the mouse over to select your avatar, it's not changing to a hand cursor, and it may or may not be actually selecting them when I click it. So I'm going to double check both those things and make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do here. Let's see, it should be in that part, but oh, it's in the common file. Okay. Register the action. Oh, the mouse over action. Okay, that's really good. Just double checking these pieces here. We have mouse over mold. Canvas is focused. Yeah, canvas is focused. Body style cursor default. Mesh under pointer is not null. Oh, body's. This should be this way. That would help on that part, and or what I should do. Now, actually, let me back that up a second. I think it's better to have it. I got to check and see if the mesh is pickable, because I don't want it like setting to a glove over the sky and backgrounding the ground and everything else, which tends to be the case. Check hovers. Am I doing it in that function? Let me double check. I think that's in here. Okay, that's... Now, see, I'm not checking it there. I'm not doing it any of those parts. Okay, go back to over there. Oh, wrong one again. Here it is. What I want to do is... I'll do it before that check hover, because if somebody does it in their plugin, will turn it off, they can still do it. But if the mesh under pointer dot is pickable, if it's pickable, then I'm going to change this. Oops. I thought I did set that. Stream category, but it didn't come through. When I first clicked, to stream, it asked, and it looked like it was set. Oh, bummer. Thanks for letting me know. You know what? Let me leave for about 10 seconds, and I'll start it again and see if it comes back. Because I definitely want that to be in the stream. Let me jump